I'm Margaret in Windsor, and I hope this goes up. The name I have to use is Peggy Ann Dempsey. I'm married to Childers. I'm not putting up any information here today. I'm just going to, I feel so bad, and I've been putting it up on Facebook and YouTube since 2012, YouTube since 2013. I want to show this first of all. I'm here at the Motel 6, and it's owned by the Patels, who own a lot of property, motels, and really it's the property they sit on that's so expensive, worth a lot of money. The Shaws and Patels, they're from India, and the person across the street in this where I paid $380 for a week, and I used 4 of my Wyndham rewards. And I want this perfectly clear. I have no problem with Wyndham rewards. They have been very nice to me, the customer service, everything. This is Motel 6. I had to move over here last Wednesday. I paid them $345.80 for a week. And the cab that picked me up and brought me just across the street, I paid him because he had a back problem. And, well, I won't say anything else. You tell the truth and everybody's mad at you. Anyway, I wanted to make sure I get this up to Super 8. And I paid them for a week and had the Wyndham rewards. Now then, when I want to preface this, I'm in here now. I'm here now at Motel 6. It's Easter, and I'm going to turn this around again. I don't want it. There's nothing wrong with my phone. I don't know what's happened. It didn't go up before the voice went down right at opportune times, by the way. So I'm just going to put this up. You can see me here. And I'm not getting any of the other out information about my kidnapping. Or Mr. Flint did an article in Hustler magazine, April the 4th, I believe, or 6th of 84. I was in a political campaign, by the way, because I told the truth about doctors and mind control, the use of it to program people to kill. I mean, the mass shootings, why do you think they're suddenly all over the last few years? And the media's promoted them. There's murders that happen every day that aren't done through mind control, but they have promoted these that are done in patterns. It's the Tesla files back in 1930 that were stolen, and you can create an illness or cure it, and I should have turned that down. My hearing's just about blasted out anyway. So I want to put this up. So there's a list of deaths, and when I was out at Mr. Flint's in the campaign to replace one of the doctor congressmen that I wrote about in 19... well, the plane went down in August 31st of 83. Supposedly it had Larry McDonald, a congressman doctor I'd written about. They tried to kill me, by the way, and did a darn good job of it. April Fool Day of 80. So here it is, April Fool Day and Easter this year. And my life has been a living hell since then. I am really sick this morning. I can hardly move, so I'm just going to make it short. I ran in the campaigns. I found out about being kidnapped and who my father is, and he was never married to Wallace Simpson. It was a character assassination taken down by the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, the Kennedys. They're doing a Chappaquiddick thing on Edward Kennedy, the girl that drowned in his car. They have never told about me because it's such a sorry thing that they've done to my father, to my mom, who's Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. Windsor was queen in 36. Look how powerful they are. They had the Church Church of England in on the takedown. After all, my mom was just a school teacher. She's sister to artist Georgia O'Keeffe. She's a great lady. They took my father down, had him marrying. He was married to my mom. To American Spy Wallace Simpson, double married Simpson. There was more than one double that was running around doing the behavior that was attributed to my father that was to make him look like a fool. That wasn't even my father. They've gotten away with it. Sir Winston Churchill, they wanted my father down because he wouldn't follow their orders. He was honest. He worked for Britain, Great Britain. Not for the Illuminati that my Uncle George sold out to, and they made him, the Illuminati promoted him to King of England. He's illegal. He's a war friggin' criminal. So is Elizabeth and that whole bunch. And yes, Elizabeth knows that Wallace Simpson married a double. She knows, she always had. She was 15 when I was kidnapped in 41, aged 2 years. She knew then my father was married to my mom. By the way, they were still married and alive in October the 20th of 1986 when I came to Roanoke, Virginia. I got put on the side of the road after I wrote the book. My children, Mark and Scott, who are heirs after me to the crown, have been through hell that if it's ever shown, this country needs to be known for what it really is. And the people in the UK that helped do this to me and take down my father and mislead, how many Brits were killed? There were illegal treaties signed back then after they took my father down and kidnapped me, because I was heir the minute I was born because of the addendum to the forced abdication. And I'm Queen Victoria II the minute I was born. Well, now they had to get rid of me, so JFK helped in my kidnapping. You don't hear about this, any of this about his father was appointed ambassador to England by Roosevelt, another Jew, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, and you got the good Irish in here. I guess they forgot my mom was Irish, right? So now I want to get to, I was in the campaign, and I'm going to skip all of it because I can't put it up, and I can hardly hear or think this morning, Easter morning. The Patels I have put up, and I'm sitting here now, and they're in this condition in their motel, one of them. There was an article put up a few years ago in, I think it was 2014, and I was in one of them, because I'm run back and forth, and I have an autoimmune disorder. I'm allergic to chemicals. I should have lived a normal life, but this has been orchestrated. I've been made a pauper and run from place to place and kept homeless. And Fumes used on me. You can't, there's no cure for it. You have to get away from it. And it's horrible. Over time, if you're subjected to it and made to inhale the toxic fumes, the inflammation tears your lungs, your kidneys, your vital organs, any of your organs, kidneys, liver, lungs, heart, veins in your legs. So over time, it's a murder weapon. And how they've gotten people to cooperate is law enforcement. Everybody's got something to hide. I had a letter from the FBI back June the 23rd of 79 when I'd done the book. I hadn't found out about my kidnapping till 1983, late 83. And the letter said ongoing investigation, national security involved. Well, evidently it's still going on because this is still being done to me. And the crimes against me, they almost killed me April Fool Day of 80. Larry McDonald, the U.S. Congressman doctor who went down the plane, was part of it, just a part of it.